Good day and welcome to today's live broadcast. Yesterday, Zinzino published their report for the fourth and final quarter of 2021. And with me to comment on the report, I have its CEO, Dag Bergheim Pettersen. Welcome.
Thank you.
So before we begin, I would like to remind our viewers that if they have any questions, not to hesitate to ask them in the live chat below. So, Dag, you are a company active in health and supplements, and it is your first time here with us. I thought you could begin by telling us a little bit about your business and your history.
Thank you for that, and thank you for having me. We are a company that was started up in Gothenburg, I think it's like 16, 17 years ago. I have my 10 years of university in my position, in my role here this year, so it has been 17 years with continuously growth. That's one thing. We started up as a coffee company, and then we stumbled over some amazing products. I think it's 9 years ago, and so now we're working in the space of direct sales, but in space of preventive health, where we are taking the guesswork out of the equation. So we are selling a test. So we have the largest database of fatty acid tests across the world, 800,000 approx analysis is almost done now. So that's just tremendous. And I mentioned continuous growth, so 17 years with growth. And we are in the stock market, Nasdaq, First North, as you probably know. In just to put things in a little bit of perspective, when I came and joined the company, I think we were around 25 to 30 employees. Now we are selling and shipping products in over 100 countries across the globe, and we have about 250 employees. I'm proud of the journey that we have accomplished, and there is more to come. But I'm going to reveal that after you've given me some questions, I guess. So my monologue is not going to get so long.
Well, they're coming here straight away. You've had quite the journey, and that growth continues. This quarter, you reported a revenue of 401.2 million SEK, an increase of 18% compared to last year's fourth quarters. We also saw gross profits marginally increase, yet its margins decreased by about 4 points. What are behind these developments?
So first and foremost, I'm super happy of the development the last 3 years. We have been growing. Like 2019, we grew 34%. In 2020, we grew 49%, and last year 20%. So one of the things that we did last quarter was what we saw in quarter three, that we were decreasing a little bit in growth. And this is important for us to grow the business. That's because of the scale of the business. That's why the earnings have been developed, and why we can pay out dividend, and why we have the result that we have for the last year and the previous years. So we were actually putting together a pretty aggressive campaign and for promotions in quarter four. So that's why you can see a little bit of a less gross margins you can see in the quarter four, but that was kind of planned out, and we are happy. And I would just mention that then 10% EBITDA, it's a breaking record for us. And you saw the suggestions of the dividend for the shareholders yesterday also. So I'm pretty happy with the results overall for 2021.
You are satisfied with the numbers then, and the dividend, as you said, landed on 2 SEK, which is a 60% increase from last year's 1.25. To accommodate for the gross margins, however, you're now adjusting your prices, raising them. Where did this raise land? And I'm also curious how you expect it to affect the demand for your products.
Well, it could always affect the demands, or you can have customers who thinks the products is pretty or getting more expensive. In general, all products is you can take my word for that, since it's the first time. But we have exceptional good products. They are affordable, and they are doing some amazing good things for your preventive health. And we are also manufacturing a lot of these products ourselves, so we don't have any yeah, from the suppliers directly to us as well. The price adjustments are necessary for different reasons. The production cost is increasing, shipping cost is increasing because of the environment and the horrible things that happens now in Ukraine. But also it has been started because of the pandemic and the inflation. You actually see somewhere stagflation as well. So this increase of about 4.5% is necessary to keep up of having and delivering quality products into the future as well.
I see. We'll move on to your markets then. You mentioned before that you're active in hundreds of markets around the world and in almost every continent. You reported growth in almost every one of these continents, especially in Asia and Europe. The Nordics and your subsidiary Faun Pharma, however, saw negative growth during the quarter. What happened here?
So, yeah, we are super proud of being a Scandinavian based company, and Nordics are kind of our castle that we are protecting. We've seen that we have been growing pretty fast in the Nordics the last 17 years, and the last 10 years, and the last 5 years has been exceptional. And then we see decrease in a couple of markets, which we are trying to turn around. And the most important for us is to get back again in Finland. That has been like 2 years with a negative growth. Sweden have done great the last years, and then Norway are, I think, back on track again together with Denmark. So I'm not worried about the Nordics in general. It is maybe our most important market, I would say, over the next years, even though I think that Europe and the DACH region with Germany are gonna do even better. When you talk about Faun, I don't measure that as negative in my eyes, because Faun is our own factory and we are selling products to ourselves, which is not part of the equation that you talked about for Q4. So Faun is doing exceptionally good, and we had a new certification going there, and we are increasing the business, and it's about 5 times higher revenue in Faun than when we bought it 7 years ago. So I'm super satisfied with Faun.
Concerning Nordics and Faun, then you do see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I don't see any train coming towards me. No, I am super confident then that we will grow. That's a part of the DNA of the company, part of our kind of values almost. So growth is extremely important for the reason of the earnings, for the reason of the scale of the business, which is the beautiful thing that I will, in the end, talk a little bit more about if you give me more time. So growing, scaling is the most important thing that we are actually doing. So there is no train coming towards me. It's the sun that comes into the end of the tunnel. And honestly, 20% growth last year. It's not problematic that we have one quarter with a little bit like decreased revenue or whatever.
No train headed for you then. I am happy to hear it. But what of Europe and Asia? We saw aggressive growth, especially in Asia. Can we expect that growth to continue?
Yes, of course. We have invested heavily in a company. We bought a company two and a half years ago, VMR Life, that are having licenses, and we have employees now in 4 or 5 different markets. And we have good staffing, and we have more to come. So Asia would be a good growth markets for us over the next, or a good region, I would say, over the next years. But every market that we are entering takes its time to grow. So even though it's great growth in Asia, it would take time before it's kind of are on the same kind of levels as in Europe. But Asia is going to be tremendous for us. I do believe so.
Patience is a virtue, as they often say. In November, sales began in a new market, however, this time South Africa. This is your first entry into that continent. What are your outlooks there?
It's the same as most of the countries that we are opening, like Asia as well. It's going to be great for us. We have been planning this for almost 3 years. So we have distributors, we have customers already when we were entering the markets. And South Africa also have a trade union with several other markets. So we will just slowly, continuously working on opening more markets in Africa. That's our plan, but we're going to take it step by step. Because remember, we are investing heavily in new markets, and that costs some kind of resources and revenue. I mean, not revenue, but costs in general. So we need to be patient in every market that we are working with it.
I see. We'll finish off by looking forward then, as we're heading into 2022 at full speed. Your goals are continued growth. How will you achieve it?
So we are a preventive health company with straight out clear goals. So one of the things that I'm happy to say is that we have grown the database of customers. I think we are around 400 or something, 420,000 customers now. We are aiming over the next 3 years to have 1 million customers. We have a long-term goal of having 20 million customers by 2035 and then 100 million customers by 2050. So that's kind of the goals or the vision goals that we have. And we also want to inspire change in people's life all across the world, meaning that they can improve their health, which would be gaining for themselves, but also for us. So with those kind of goals, long-term goals and that clear vision, we have some clear plans on our strategy. So first and for all, we are opening new markets. We also are paying a lot of attention to the European market. So opening new markets, at the same time growing the business. That's extremely important, as I explained about the scale of the business, because the scale of economy comes now really hard. That's why we have those earnings last year, is because of the scale of the business. The second thing that we do is that we do tremendous product development. We are coming up with new tests, new products. Third is extremely important. We try to digital everything that we do. So using the advantage of being in Scandinavia, where we understand tech and tech first. So you see the websites, you see all the technology that we are putting. So we're investing heavily into simplicity of the websites and things and tools that we are using towards our customers. And then fourth, we have started a rebranding journey, which is also super important for us for the growth over the next years. So new markets, new products, tech first, branding, all that applies to growth and sustainable long-term growth. So I am pretty sure that keeping focus and keeping a good eye on the things that we are doing is going to bring us to new happy moments with growth and more dividend maybe in the future.
It'll be very exciting to follow. I have no questions from the chat today, so I'll thank you very much for your time, Dag, and wish both you and Zinzino continued luck in the future.
Thank you.